dance, make it bang, yeah.
Midnight in Miami. Good vibes, open views. And you could get the latest news. It's all on YouTube at midnight in Miami.
Ladies and gentlemen, what
No, I'm just kidding. Sorry.
is going on? It is your boy Gamero. We out here gloved up like it's the first date. I'm accompanied here by ill-logicz.
What it is, y'all?
Ali the alien.
Asado.
Mr. Benderson, what's happening, man? Yo. And you know, we're here. We're alive,
We are
people.
safe.
We're safe. You know, we're 6 feet away from each other.
There's only
you know?
4 people in the room.
There's
We're
4
good.
people in the room.
Not the 10.
You
All right,
know?
we're good.
Not breaking
There's
them
4
all.
people in the
Right.
room. We gloved up like it's the first date.
That's
you
the
know?
Lysol. We got the Lysol.
We got Lysol on deck. We got no name water on deck. You know what I'm saying? Like it's beautiful. You know, it's beautiful. We locked up. We ready. And there's no apocalypse that could come and do us any harm. We hope that you are finding yourself at home. We hope that you find yourself with your family, with your loved ones, or if you know if you don't live with them or whatever the case. I hope they're safe. I hope you're safe. And I hope you're not one of the fucking idiots that, you know, isn't taking this seriously. Ali, before we kind of dive into the Rona, why don't you what were you talking about before we went on air?
We were talking about the comedians and how some of them are funny and some of them are not so funny. But I've been listening to a lot of Bobby Lee and Crystalia and that genre of people. Oh, and we were talking about Cat Williams and how he was, you know. And my theory is that just like Dave Chappelle, there are a certain group of people that do talk light and talk that some people don't believe, some things that are too out there for people to believe, and they are going to be called crazy, even though that they're comedians. You know, some comedians are the main ones that speak about the truth, but speak about it in a way that maybe is a little lighthearted. That way it doesn't hit you in the gut. But my point being is that Cat Williams is actually really smart, but is going through a lot because he's speaking a lot of truth, personally.
Yo, have you are you big into the comedy world?
I mean, I like comedy.
I like to laugh.
I like to laugh. I don't want to be serious all day. You know?
I like things that are comedically humorous.
Who would you have in your, I guess, top 3?
Kevin Hart, Dane Cook, and Dave Chappelle.
Damn.
That's 3 different people.
Right?
You said Kevin
3
Hart,
different
Dane
types of
Cook,
comedy.
and Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle.
Craig?
3 different styles.
Put Paul Mooney in there.
Oh, yeah.
Who else we got? Kevin's pretty funny. And Dalila, that's his name?
Crystalia.
Yeah.
Chris D'Elia.
Yeah.
But my
Fucking
thing,
hilarious.
but my thing with Kevin, do you think that like his
He has
shtick
a spiel.
is very? Do you think it's kind of
I
getting
think
repetitive?
it's been long enough.
You think it's getting
It's been a
repetitive?
very long time. Remember when Soul Plane came out? It's been a very long time. So it's like, how many different jokes can he come up with? Or not even different jokes, but we know the mannerisms, and the mannerisms is funny. And I think we got used to it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is.
I think there's...
Hey, man, you got yak. You know,
yeah.
There's they became adopted in the cultural norm. Like
yeah.
there's so many people that have adopted, you know, very minute mannerisms that he has just in their everyday persona.
He's the little kid that allows himself to get bullied, but then when it's too much, it's like, all right, guys, I'm a human being. I'm this person. But he puts himself in that position because he's a small little black man, sorry.
How dare you.
And, right? But he can fit in these niches, you know? He can, it's not out of pocket.
Laugh at my pain.
Yeah.
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 You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I don't know, there's a different sense of maybe putting it in a different level that he's like, I can laugh at myself and I allow you guys to laugh with me. So that's how he's still able to elevate so much and not be still in that little box of I'm always getting bullied. He's able to CEO that shit, you know?
CEO that shit indeed. Ladies and gents, as you know, we always make our very best effort to reply to all of your comments and questions and anything of the like. So if you have any comments, go on and shoot them. You know, leave them in the YouTube video. You know what I'm saying? Shoot us a subscribe on that YouTube. Hit us with that follow on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? And all that good stuff. But speaking of, we had a comment from last week's video when we were speaking about that Ronan. As you can see, it's still very much relevant today. And for those of you who don't know, there is a little bit of a turnaround time in between videos of about a week and some change. So just like, for example, how Joe Rogan at first was like, you know, the Rona's gonna, you know, it'll be this, it'll be that. It's not going to be that serious, you know. A week followed or whatever, and he's like, listen, all the comments that I had, you can go ahead and toss them in the garbage. This shit's serious. Not that we said that it wasn't serious in any means, because we always stressed the severity of what it brought or what it's bringing, but we also had to, you know, chime in on what it's doing to businesses, right?
Yeah.
So one of the comments that we had from our last video was from Avenue X at Cicero, which was, how do you know coronavirus will be something common like the cold or the flu after all is said and done? We've had Ebola and SARS, coronavirus older cousin, outbreaks this century, but they haven't become commonplace diseases globally. They're dangerous, and thank your Lord, those aren't going around like the flu or the common cold. And then he left a second one saying, I don't think we'll ever be united again unless aliens attack the planet.
Nice.
You know what? One thing I gotta say is that commenter is dedicated.
Yeah,
I really appreciate.
Avenue X at Cicero, we love you. You are our top commentator, and we listen. Your dedication does not go unnoticed.
Yeah,
okay?
No, I appreciate because he's like he has in-depth comments and they go really deep.
You can tell he's listening.
Right, but. The way that this came about is almost like the hurricane for us. Granted, it is a virus that does deal with your health, but for some reason it's almost like, because also it doesn't have any symptoms, it's like we're just playing it by ear, and we're not, it's like niggas riding a unicycle while the fucking hurricane's going on. We just don't take it that seriously until the wave fucking passes over, you know what I'm saying? Then that shit is like, all right, maybe we do need a generator, you know?
Yeah.
And overall,
Thinking
but
to Miami over here.
I think we're too Floridian.
yeah.
Florida
For
as
for this
fuck.
pandemic.
Florida,
We're
man.
just so Florida, like we're like, all right, like every other state is
Florida
just
man says.
Yeah, right.
Florida man goes to.
But nah.
What do you think? What do you think?
I think it they got a lot worse than what we anticipated for real.
Yeah.
I mean, who could have guessed anything like that?
Yeah.
Of course.
You know, so right now it's just about writing it out. You feel me? Trying to stay as safe as possible.
You were telling me how we were talking about before the show started about the transition to online communication, and how that's kind of come about. You were telling me how you were having service through virtual,
Yeah, through Zoom. So like even my church, for instance, they do all their services online. Now it's all on YouTube. Like today, there's 5 different services that they're going to be broadcasting on either YouTube. Sometimes, like my youth, the youth service that we do, they do it on IG Live, and then even just our meetings with the team leaders and all that, we do it all through Zoom. So. And things like connect groups, you know, we're used to like meeting up with people and, you know, just chopping it up about the week. You know, we're also doing through Zoom. So everything has been, first of all, Zoom is like, they're on a whole different level. Yeah, they've elevated.
Zoom is nice, but listen, I'm gonna plug someone. This isn't even a sponsor yet, but they're gonna be hopefully. House Party. I don't know if you heard of them, but I think it's better than Zoom just because Zoom has like a 30-minute time limit.
Yeah, they got a time limit. Yeah.
With House Party, first of all, they got games, so you can be playing. You know what I'm saying? You can be playing like what's this game called? Cards Against Humanity. They have like
Okay.
Oh,
they have a similar
sick.
one. They have one called like avocado or some shit like that. And you can play it on there, and there's no time limit. So check that one out.
Word.
But do you feel the there's a certain amount of that human interaction. Do you think it'll ever be replaced? Do you think that
I mean, no. There's no way to replace that, like, one-on-one, like in-person type of interaction.
to be able to dap up?
Unless we're all like it's some type of VR world where it's like it's so real that you have this headset on or whatever that it just looks that and feels that real. But even then, I don't know. That's very hard to like replace that.
Well, some people are projecting that this sort of thing would rise the sales of VR, virtual reality, that sort of
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I have the one for PlayStation. They're already talking about how they're releasing a second version for the PlayStation 5 when that one comes out, and then it's gonna be like out of this world. But even with this like first generation, it's still extremely immersive. So for people that can't leave their house or whatever the case, if they make it readily available to the masses as far as like a price point that wouldn't kill everybody, I do think it would be successful.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you still feel do you feel like I guess, how do I say it, when you go over there, do you have a spiritual connection, and do you still feel that even being at home doing
When
the
I go-
service?
Oh, I mean, yeah, absolutely. It's not about, to me, again, and I only speak for myself. It's not about being in a building with a whole bunch of other people. It's about my personal connection and relationship with God. It has nothing to do with the people. I just go there because that's where service is held. You feel what I'm saying? And it's obviously great to congregate with other people who are
Similar views?
who have similar views and who are there for the same reason. Obviously, not everybody's perfect, and I'm not gonna say that, but even now online, and what I'm doing now, I'm still reading the Bible as often as I can, talking to God and praying, and I still have that same connection, if not stronger now, because it's being tested.
It's being
you feel me,
tested.
with everything that's going on. So, yeah, I mean, it's still there. You feel me? It's harder to get into maybe the service as much as as easy as it would be if you were there, because obviously you're not there in action. It's like watching a concert on TV.
Yeah, of course.
Like, you're still gonna enjoy the concert,
Yeah.
but you're not there. You
Yeah.
can't like see
Yeah.
Kanye West doing
Feel
what he's
the
doing.
bass, yeah.
Feel the bass of Kendrick Lamar doing whatever he's doing. So it's it's like that. But I mean, yeah, I'm still good with it.
I wanted to ask you guys, what do you guys think about this whole, we good on that one? About this whole situation about the pastor that went against the quarantine?
I need more info. I have no idea.
So there was.
I live under a rock.
Let me do an actual.
Yeah, his sermon was very provoking because it really tested people's faith, but it also tested people's health. You can't deny if something so contagious as the flu or the corona, you can't. The best thing is to always think about people's health first. And, and remember that, because God is almighty, but still, what is what is.
Mm-hmm.
So if fucking it starts raining, you're going to get wet.
Yeah.
You can't just be walking outside and God's going to protect me and think you're going to have a hover over your fucking body. No, that shit, it passed. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
Florida mega church pastor arrested for defying Florida arrested for defying coronavirus stay-at-home order and holding services. Florida mega church leader Rodney Howard Brown was arrested Monday for continuing to hold church services in violation of a county-wide stay-at-home order. And while most churches, temples, and mosques have suspended activities during the coronavirus pandemic, churches in Louisiana and Kentucky have also defied local orders to hold services. Despite multiple warnings from local sheriff's office, Howard Brown held two church services on Sunday at the 4,000-member River at Tampa Bay
4,000
Church,
members,
where he is a pastor, and directly violated a county-wide ban on gatherings of more than 10.
Just
There's a little difference. There's a little bit
Just
different.
I think maybe 1,000 people
It
showed up.
wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that bad. 4,000, 10, same basic principle. And he also, after he was arrested, he said that services would continue to be held there, basically saying "fuck you" to the police. You know. So, what's everybody's take on this, Craig?
It's nuts, man. I don't know where he's giving out wipes and shit. I don't know where he passing out masks. Did he go into any kind of preventives?
It's not enough though.
To prevent anything.
Enough.
In the video, it's so, oh my gosh, it makes me upset. In the video, he was having people after, when it's like go to every 3 person and, you know, hug them or whatever. That's what they were doing. Everybody was turning around,
Reach out
giving
to your neighbor next to you.
No, man. Like, oh, that made me so upset because yes, people's faith needs to be strong, but we have to be cautious.
Look to your neighbor and
You
say
know,
corona.
like that doesn't play hand in hand. I believe. I think that even back then, people had illnesses, people had sickness, people were aware. So just because you're in God's house, quote unquote, doesn't mean that you're safe from all illnesses. That doesn't. It doesn't play like that.
And I just want to give a quick shout out to all the healthcare workers. You know what I'm saying? All the people out there that are busting, I don't even want to say busting their balls, you know, busting their balls, busting their ovaries, whatever you busting, you know what I'm saying?
Just their health.
Their health more than anything. Because I know you know, they're pulling crazy hours. And the least that we can do as a human race, you know, is to stay at home. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was this. So, a little backstory. There was this week, one of the very minimal effects of the coronavirus was the gym that I go to or went to for like a long time, 4 or 5 years, Fight Club. I had been going there for a very long time, and I had never really had very many issues. The owner was kind of like a, how do you put it, like a dick eater, you know? But, you know, sometimes people are going to eat dick, and you got to accept that fact. You know what I'm saying? So I chose to look the other way, because sometimes people are going to eat dick, and that's fine, right? That's fine. That's people. That's beautiful. That's America, you know? And so we had a couple disagreements, but never nothing too crazy. Come to find out, when the obviously gyms are closing, everything is closing down, but most gyms are talking about how they are freezing accounts because you can't go to the gym. I don't know what happened with 24.
24, they just I didn't even have to call them. They stopped charging. They're like, look, for the time being, we're not going to charge anything. We're not. None of the bills are gonna, you know. So they put that on freeze, I guess, until everything's over.
And you didn't do anything.
I had to do nothing.
Well, they sent you an email.
Yeah, I got an email. I got a little notification.
And damn, but I'm assuming it's closed, right?
Yeah, they're hella closed.
Yeah, I see. We doing a asylum workout sometimes. Come on, bro.
I'm over here in the photo room.
Let me tell you something, bro. You got a little determination, a little willpower. That's all you need.
Yeah, we got a sandbag. I ordered some bands and tubes and all that. Yeah.
What more do you need?
Right.
Fight Club didn't choose that route. Nice. Fight Club decided to charge you for the month that we basically had 10 days of access to, and then for the entire month, this past month that they were closed, they charged us for. And so everybody started getting a bunch of fucking they started going crazy on social media. You know, there's comments or whatever.
Dick.
And so, but come to find out, someone goes inside, the fucking gym, a 2-floor massive gym, is empty. He pulled everything out and dipped, skedaddled. They posted all the pictures on Lifestyle Miami, who is going to be a guest on this podcast. He has 1.2 million followers. You know what I'm saying? We're almost there. Miami. Shout out to Lifestyle Miami. They're going to be here soon. Can't wait to have you on the show. Can't wait to have you on the show. That's an episode you definitely don't want to miss. Hit that follow, subscribe, plug.
Journalism.
But, yeah, and he posted the pictures. Fight Club was not responding to anything. And they posted a picture of the entire gym being empty and them still charging for a closed, empty, non-existing gym.
You're not coming back.
You're not coming back, but we're still taking your money, you know? After they were exposed for that, they decided to release a picture on Instagram talking about that due to COVID-19 we're closed, but they didn't have the balls to say we're closed permanently, and they said that they would address all the freezes or whatever the case ASAP, which is bullshit. You kind of have to call your bank, do a fraud claim, get that back, whatever the case. But that Sandro Flores, my main man, Sandro Flores, it is my honor, my privilege to today name you the Come Pinga of the day. Sandro, that is you today, Come Pinga of the day.
Right.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Journalism, I always is like the investigators.
Yeah.
In journalism, you know what I'm saying? Like they fucking put their ass on the line or fucking go beyond to get the truth, and that I appreciate.
I definitely appreciate as well. I honestly, it was a little rough. Like it sucks because like I had met so many people, so many fighters that I respect. Danny, who's come here multiple times.
I can't believe they
in the middle of the night. I don't know if he was renting the equipment. I don't know if he sold it. I don't know what the fuck happened, but that gym was packed. And in the middle of the night, they came, got everything, and he skedaddled. And nobody has returned calls, emails, nothing. So that's Miami, baby. That's that shady Miami company. You know,
So
and it happens.
is Fight Club, is that like a franchise or is it just one gym?
So there was one in Doral and one in Wynwood. The Wynwood one was the first location, but both of the Instagram pages posted the same post talking about that they're closed. Mind you, he didn't tell employees that they were out of a job. He still owes employees money. Like employees found out through the post on Lifestyle Miami that they no longer have a job. Like imagine finding out on Instagram.
Oh,
that's like
shit, I work there.
Bruh, yeah, that's like if you saw a picture of an empty asylum studio talking about there's nothing, you know what I'm saying?
Whoa.
That
would never happen.
That would never happen. Wait. Obviously, you know what I'm saying? But, you know.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Or that's like you coming into the place where you rent your location. They're like, nah, bro, we just gonna lock it up.
This whole thing is gone.
You good, bro.
You good. What do you mean I gotta go in?
Nah, you ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So that's
lawsuits.
Lawsuits are eventually inevitably gonna happen, especially given the fact that he was still owing money to employees and that sort of thing. So it's just a shitty way to take advantage of people that are. Look, I understand when that shit hits and it's a big location, you're gonna get behind on bills. I understand it's a business, but
that shit was ran by the mafia.
Yo, for real. But to forcibly charge people and not tell anyone and not tell your employees that they no longer have a job, that's a come pinga of the day on my regard, man. Ali, have you had any interactions with people in the streets that are kind of like on the edge due to the virus?
On the edge due to the virus. No, I try to limit my going outness.
Good,
but
smart.
Where the places I have gone out to was Walmart and Joann's Fabric to get stuff to make masks. Are they for sale? Do a little plug. Are they for sale now? What's happening? I would like to do them for sale. They are taking a lot to make, and there's a lot of material that's just not out there for everybody.
That's not available, yeah.
But I more just want to plug just to make your own, because having the nurses keep their mask or trying to have enough supplies for other people that are in that field would be great. So it's just like one or two, just look it up online, how to make your own. I will be selling mine. Because when you see how much has to put into it,
Facts.
But Joann's Fabric and Walmart, there are 6 feet lines, like tape on the floor
I've
keep
seen
people
that everywhere.
apart.
Yep.
They're only letting like 10 or 20 people in Walmart. Same thing with Joann's, like they're limiting the amount of people that are out.
Yeah, they're not fucking around with that.
Yeah, for sure. And then they also have like 20% if you order your shit online. Like 20% off, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a plug. It's dope. It's still good, but you got to deal with all that. If they don't have the shit, if they don't have it in the store, they'll give you back the money, but you don't know until you get the bag, though. So
Have you had any?
The virtual world's gonna take over.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk
Real
about that in a
fast.
minute. Yeah.
Tony told me he was at Publix or some type of supermarket, and he was with a girl and they were shopping, and he heard somebody sneeze, and he just screamed. He's like, "Ah!"
Are you serious?
Like in a joking
like
manner.
fucking around?
Yeah, messing around. But that's funny. Have I had any weird interactions? I mean, I think it's overall just weird to see what we're seeing. I've never had to live through something like this where there's tape lines of where you have to stand, where 95% of the people that you see out have gloves and masks on. Like, this is all like an anomaly to me. So that alone is weird. I haven't had any interactions with people where it's like some odd, everything like the interactions with the people is still, the same. I mean, nobody's touching each other, nobody's really, but I mean, it's not like I would walk out. Yeah, it's not like I would walk out and strangers would talk to me anyway. That's not how it happens. So, I mean, the weird thing is how it's going down for sure, for sure.
People are getting a little more tensy.
I was at Home Depot. A worker there told my brother to stand 6 feet away from me. I said he lives with me. We have dinner every night.
They have the cover on Publix.
I was about to say we need to start walking around with tape measures, but
hey, back up.
And you got Trump standing on a podium with 100 people behind him,
right?
Next to him.
Jeez.
Like, yo, stay distance away.
You saw when he went to shake the dude's hand, and he's like, "Bro, fuck that!" Like,
yeah.
Catch me with that Rona.
Yo, he's out here shaking people's hands like crazy,
bro. Left and right,
hugging people,
left and right.
There's a few things that in connection to everything. I'm gonna the censorship in China is fucking crazy because this shit has been going on from years ago, right? So there was a whistleblower, which was a doctor, that actually came out saying, hey, there's a coronavirus and these are what you have to do to make sure you're okay. And there were riots outside because the government wasn't given any information until the whistleblower came out, right? So the whistleblower came out in December, and that's when everything started escalating to the USA. Donald Trump was doing kind of the same thing. He was saying that, this is a hoax, it's not that big of a deal, and then the shit went fucking crazy. Right? So the censorships and the cover-ups makes us believe it's not that big of a deal. And then when shit does get big, then everybody's attacking the society that is like, well, you guys are saying it's something we don't got to take care of, or you guys are saying it's not that big of a deal until doctors come out, or until this guy was, when the whistleblower, he was taken out of his house around 12 o'clock at night for saying all that shit. Like, they were trying to take him off, and then he died. I don't know, they saying that he had the corona, but he died. So going back to cover-ups, there's actually a Netflix movie that's called The Drug Cover-Up Scandal.
Yeah.
Some shit like that.
Okay.
And it was two chemists that were taking drugs. No, one chemist was taking the drugs, like she was making crack with the cocaine and
like
taking it.
at her desk.
That's classy.
At her desk.
They found the fucking crack pipe under her desk. The bitch was on it since 2004, since she started. She was in the fucking place
there's
for 9 years.
There's two people who work in the back of the place where, so everybody who gets busted for a drug, they say, all right, is this heroin or is it not heroin? They send it to the lab. These are the two people who test it. Now, one of them has been on drugs since she started working there. And she's
9
doing
years.
every drug,
That's the
LSD,
plug, if you think
coke,
about it.
every drug.
That's the plug.
She's testing it. She's testing it.
Hey, I'm
That's-
sorry. That's smart.
That's
Like,
the plug.
She's like, this is the pure right here. I know.
She's
I
like,
tested
She
it.
got the fucking liquid of meth. Fuck the
Every
the
morning, like
consistency.
coffee.
It's the liquid and drops
Every
in her
morning,
mouth.
like a cup of coffee.
Yeah. So
Little meth.
imagine
Little
that.
meth.
she
Just
work?
It's a little mad.
Just a little meth.
Little mad. They don't
It
do
kept me
that.
on point to get my job done.
Yeah.
That's
Then
what
it
she,
can-
that's what she
That's
said.
truck drivers, though. That's truck drivers. That's how they do them 18-hour shifts. You think I'm playing? Come on. It ain't magic. What you think? That's it. Starbucks?
Yo,
Oh, man.
there's meth in the Starbucks.
For real. For
Innocent
real.
coffee cup.
Right? So, yeah, that was one chemist. The other chemist was actually working with the prosecutors. So basically, you want this to be Coke? It's Coke, but it's actually salt. type shit. You know what I'm saying? She wouldn't, and she was like the top lead. Nobody would review her reports, nothing like that. But she was getting away for, I don't know if it was the same amount of years, but it was about the same amount of putting all these people in jail. So the cover up was the FBI knew from years ago, and they were just trying to make it limited to from 2012, but the bitch been working there since 2004. So all those people were still being in jail.
50,000 cases.
Yeah.
More than 50,000 cases.
They were going in and out of jail. Nobody knew if they were going to stay in jail because they were trying to, all these fucking everything. So nobody was given the right amount of information. Not even, so you have the lawyers trying to get the information. You have the reporters, the journalists, but the FBI knowing for years that this is going on, they don't want to say anything. So not all the time does the government or the top elites tell you everything because they just want to limit our informations. Hence, like, oh shit, of Corona. So now going into another Netflix. I'm sorry, I'm just like,
It's all on Netflix.
It's all on
too.
Netflix?
It's not like they're trying to hide shit. Like,
No.
It's on Netflix.
If you want to watch another one, Who Killed Malcolm X? That's a fucking, like, it's crazy how much information was not told and how much the FBI was in the Moss in Malcolm X's, like, they had his assistant was in the FBI, and nobody knew that until years after he died. You know what I'm saying? Like, these niggas are
Like undercover type shit.
undercover.
Infiltrators.
Yes,
They get
Damn.
in. They get in.
they get in.
That's what she said.
Nice,
Yeah,
nice.
that
good.
is.
Seizing the moment. Amidst
He's an
a
infiltrator.
pandemic, you're still seizing the moment, and I appreciate
Because
that.
Michael Scott would appreciate it.
Michael Scott would appreciate
my
that.
gosh.
Michael Scott's a beautiful man.
That's just
A good show to watch is Dark Crystal.
Yeah.
Which talks.
that's my movie of the
Is
week.
that okay? Yeah, Craig's movie reviews or entertainment reviews.
Yeah.
Dark Crystal.
Dark
I've been
Crystal.
watching for a
Elaborate.
while.
Give me a
It's
little bit more.
crazy.
Why
All right.
why should they watch it?
Dark Crystal is a remake of Jim Henson's. You know Jim Henson. He made the Muppets and all that kind of shit, right? So it's a puppetry type movie, right? But it's kind of like relating on today's society for real, because you have the super elite feeding off the unknowing people.
And giving the people a kind of status to believe in, but the status means nothing.
They're given these roles that don't mean anything because these people live forever. So if the elite live forever, so they always use that as leverage to say that you don't know anything. We've been here forever. We know way more than you. We need to be here to take care of you. We need to be here to take care of you because you can't take care of yourself. And that's the same things as you hear from, the
Rockefeller.
Rockefeller and things like that. Like,
Is it 2 thumbs up
2 thumbs up and a toe.
and a toe? That's
Yo,
the
that
first
word
ever
is
toe.
so gross. Yo, guys, we're gonna stop the podcast right here.
So I have a question because here's
It's so
when it
gross.
comes to like things like how you were explaining the Malcolm X thing. That's separate. But like for instance, this Corona pandemic we're going through. It's hard for me to express how I feel on these cover-ups with those type of situations because people are special. And when you tell people that there is a virus going around, toilet paper goes out of stock, so does Lysol wipes and everything else. So I think, and again, not with every situation, because there's some cover-ups that I'm not saying like, I know all these cover-ups, and I mean, there's some cover-ups that they do just because, the government or whoever is covering it up did something bad. But then there's others that they do that they don't show the public because the public is special. Not all of us, not all of y'all, but some people take things and they don't know how to react. You know what I'm saying? And so they overreact, and it makes it worse for people like us and for like the viewers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So again, well, not with everything, but I do understand why with certain situations they may not want to tell the public right away because the public is going to make it more difficult than it has
But that's
to be.
dumb. You know why? Because that's why the fucking toilet paper is out. Because nobody knows shit. So they're fucking watching Walking Dead and seeing that they need fucking toilet paper because we're going to have a pandemic and everybody's going to turn into zombies and we're going to fucking need toilet paper. And you know what
That's
I'm saying?
what's being pushed.
It's like
the worst of the worst is being
stupid.
pushed. And plus, they told people to go get this stuff. They told people, go get masks, go get hand sanitizer, go get toilet paper, wipes, and da-da-da and da-da.
But
Stay
not
as clean as
telling
possible.
anybody, like, I know they know some more information than what was known because this shit was already like, yo.
Well,
and
I'm
then
sure
making
that
it a problem, making it an issue and calling it a China virus, you're fucking fighting with the wrong shit. You know what I'm saying? We're not fighting with China. We're fighting this fucking virus. Work with China that has the virus for so long. That way we can get to the fucking solution quicker.
Right.
But no, you want to fucking fight China, calling it a Chinese virus, then they're fighting with us and nobody gets to the solution.
Too much other talk being talked about rather than the actual health. Like, why is no one being talked about? Like, where's the immune system talk?
I will
Right?
say, okay.
Why is everybody talking about Lysol and wiping down tables when nobody's talking about what's inside their body?
Yeah, why are there still vitamins on the shelves?
Yo.
Like
real
we
shit.
went.
Like real shit. Like, it's full. It's packed.
That's stupid. That's stupid.
We're
We
in the-
got so much shit from Nutrismart.
went
Get the
crazy.
fuck out of here,
It's
man.
crazy. But all
We
the
looted that
paper is
motherfucker.
gone. All the paper's gone, but the vitamin
Yeah.
C is in full stock.
Yeah, it's still oranges out there. It's still orange juice.
Come
like,
on.
what's happening? What are you doing?
Get some
yo?
bell peppers in there or something. I don't know.
I will say it's a little sus. What do you guys think about the fact that they're reporting that the new cases in China are fucking like 5? You know, like stupid shit. Like very minimal new cases.
I think they,
it went
I
from
think
like
it's
a
true.
fuck
I
ton
think they
and then
controlled it by now because
you,
they already
you don't
went-
think
they,
it's sus?
They went back to work already because the factories have already started back working. So
Yeah,
it's like, yeah.
they did.
So it's like,
I
know,
think
the
it's
numbers
true.
gone down.
Because as soon as that shit went out, that's when they went to work. As soon as it went out, they're like, "Oh
They
shit,
were-
we
they
gotta
were walking
make
down-
it gone."
They were walking down full on streets with sanitation gas
I saw that.
just
I saw
pouring
that.
out, covering every light post, every dog, everything. Like, you know what I'm saying? So maybe they did get a control of it way faster. You know, everybody just staying inside with Lysol. Damn, Lysol's making bread right now.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I got a buddy of mine in Madrid in Spain, and he says that they've extended quarantine nonstop. They've been quarantined for a month and a half now.
Not to where's Madrid again?
In Spain.
Okay, you said that. My bad.
Pretty good. It's not CBD. But what's it called? But yeah, they've been extended in quarantine for about like a month and a half, and
Wow.
it's like legit. Like, okay,
Can't
listen.
leave your house for real.
Yeah, like quarantine over
tanks,
here.
tanks.
Listen, not for nothing. Quarantine over here is a kind of a fucking joke. Because they're like, all right,
It's-
you can't go anywhere except everywhere.
I know, but the difference, I mean, obviously, is like, you know, it's the country we reside in. Like,
True.
you know, it's
In DR.
not that we're all free, but you know, it's the freest country,
Yeah,
America,
yeah,
right? So they try to respect that. They're like, all right, look, we're not gonna just do what China did and say, if you go out, we're gonna shoot you in the freaking dome.
Bruh.
Like, yo, all right, we highly advise, and we're putting these curfews out, but.
Restrictions.
You know, at the end of the day, it's, you know, America. Like, you know,
America.
Until the tanks come out. We're like, no tanks. We said no
But
tanks.
listen, I kind of
I
want.
doubt that's gonna happen.
I don't think it'll be
If it
tanks,
does,
but I
it
do.
is.
Okay, so over there, if you go out anywhere, they do pull you over. And
Yeah, in
they
DR,
pull you
they're
over,
arresting people.
and they
There's
ask
a
you where the
video.
fuck are you going?
Yeah.
There's a video of fucking like 5 people out in the street just chilling, hanging out, whatever. And I'm like, these niggas just want to be outside to be outside.
Yeah.
I see that
And then-
video.
I think so.
In 5 seconds, they ran.
Yo.
Like, yo.
They had their
never
posts
seen-
ready to go, yo.
And a truck comes, kicks the fucking chair, and has already somebody in the
Somebody
back.
in the truck.
That's
Yeah.
hilarious. No, yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's serious. But again, this is, you know, I don't see that happening here just because of obviously nothing is impossible. I'm not saying, oh, it's not gonna happen. I guarantee it. Or your
Next
money back.
episode.
I saw-
Next episode, we're in here.
We're over here.
But I don't know. I see it it's very hard for that to happen. Like where they're having like what they're doing in DR and what they did in China. I'm not saying that they're not going to send out National Guards. Maybe they will to certain areas, but I doubt it's going to be like that. Like how what we're seeing in other countries where it's like, yo, they'll shoot you down or put you in prison.
Bruh,
They got naked bitches twerking on I-95.
Yo, wait,
that's
what?
Miami.
That's Miami. They might get it shut down.
I don't know. I mean, it's Miami, dude. Like it's hard to stop Florida from doing anything.
When they closed the beach, people were still laying down in the little part of sand outside, like outside of it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's wild, bro. Like,
people still fucking on.
People will find any means necessary.
There's the trooper that used to be at the church every time. He was like, this is after Florida. Florida's on a national shutdown right now, right? Like Florida's the governor. Yeah. So the trooper's like, sorry. So he's like, oh, I was driving in the Palmetto and it was like a regular day. There was just a whole bunch of cars. And he's like, I'm not pulling anybody over. Like, are you serious? I mean, then I get the coronavirus. I'm good. But it's true.
I saw a video of some dude getting pulled over, and then the guy inside the car had a sign that said, "I got corona," and then the dude did. I was like, y'all might write that up real quick, boy.
It's difficult though because these people, like, imagine like the cops who are they're putting their life on the line too because they don't know who they're pulling over and what they got. So it's like, yo, for you to have to interact with somebody, I understand where the fear is coming from again because you don't want to catch it. If you have a family, you don't want to bring it back home and all that. So even with imagine nurses and doctors that have to treat you.
Plus they're not even locking up people because they don't want to have too much people in jail too.
Yeah. Well, they released supposedly Tekashi because of the Rona.
And Melly, they're keeping
also,
in.
But there was someone they denied
bro,
someone.
Sit down, boy.
They denied someone. I know they approved Tekashi 6ix9ine. He's released because of Rona. But there was someone that
fuck that nigga.
There was I agree.
Melly, it was like, sit down, boy. You gotta sit down. I don't know about you.
Yeah, right,
bruh.
Yo,
you too much. I gotta sit down.
That's fucking wild, bro. God.
There's a lot of people in jail that are actually getting it too. I guess the fucking people who are the people, the police people that are inside are bringing it in.
Wow. I can see that.
The guards and shit.
The guards.
And that environment is like that's cold as shit.
Yeah,
like,
it's so unsanitary.
Well, they're doing a lot now, like to help sanitize that, and even with the prison. I'm speaking on prisons, not jails. So I don't know about jails, but the trick is, I mean, the tricky part is that prisons aren't really accepting transfers because of this. So it's difficult. A lot of people are staying in jails, and the prisons are like, look, unless it's an absolute necessity, we're not going to accept anybody in here. And then the prisons are taking measures where they have the inmates, separate when they're eating and they're lysoling and wiping everything down. So it's like, I don't know, it's tricky because you're talking about being in a freaking cell with, it's just a box full of people, so it's hard to imagine if there's an outbreak in there, it's almost over.
And it's cold as shit. Everywhere it's cold as shit. So it's like,
you can't heat up the key is always like heat. You gotta get that shit out of your body. So if you're in a cold ass environment, there's no way to sweat. There's no way to do anything. So
and it's funny though because the cold is actually supposed to be is what kills most germs and all that. Which is why hospitals are so cold. But with this virus, it's different. So heat is really what seems to be the better option for it. But obviously, hospitals are not going to put a sauna in there.
Yeah, no. You need chili pepper, some curry, garlic, onions.
And Vaporu.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, that's a fact, bro.
That's guaranteed.
You put Vaporu in, bro.
You're good.
Bro, you surpass anything.
Absolutely.
You don't know how many different cultures just have vapor. Like, that's the cure for everything. Just put it on up your lip. Right here.
Did you see the video? It was really sad of the doctor that got home after working, I'm assuming, a very long shift, and then his kid went running to him to hug him because he hadn't seen him, and he had to stop him and like walk away because he couldn't touch him.
Yeah.
Who recorded this video?
I'm assuming the mom.
So she was waiting. All right, when your dad
Yeah,
gets here, run and hug him. Go.
Let's make everybody cry.
Yeah, like who recorded? Who knew this was gonna happen?
When I see that shit, okay. When I see
who knew this was gonna happen? I want answers.
I need answers.
I need answers, man.
But
Daddy gets home, I want you to rug and hug him.
Yeah, right.
Run and hug.
She's just waiting.
He's gonna reject you.
Oh, that's not
Gonna
it.
And it's gonna scar you for the rest of your life.
Like
a little.
I haven't seen the
You're
video.
like,
so I don't know.
yo.
But you go towards him.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's definitely mom should have been like, hey,
I'm trying to figure out.
your dad can't really
Yeah.
hug you right now.
Yeah,
Yo,
she didn't tell him
that
nothing.
was a
She
plot.
wanted to catch it on the film.
Yeah,
Like, of course she
viral
didn't
plot.
tell him.
He knows nothing about Corona at all.
At all. Yeah.
She could have told him.
nothing.
She could have told him that. Hey, listen, when your dad gets home, remember he's coming from a
the
very
kid's
dangerous
playing with
place.
toys.
You know, there's.
That is very true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clue what's going on?
She's like, I'm not gonna tell you nothing, so you can run to him. I could get it on footage, and I go viral.
Yeah.
That's what that was.
Ching ching.
Ching, ching. That's wild, dude. Come on.
That's it's kind of like when people are filming themselves donate to homeless.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like,
yes,
bruh,
it is.
I hate that shit.
yeah.
You might as well not do it
walking
because you're
around
not
passing out
donating.
hundreds.
You're paying for PR. You know, that's what you're doing. Like,
It's like that Drake video.
oh
Where
yeah,
Miami rejected him. You know?
he pulled that
In
real
the-
quick.
Yeah, in the beginning, remember?
And that's why the song is called God.
Yeah, he was trying to sign.
It's called God.
God's plan.
God's plan.
Plan.
God's plan. You see, because he was trying to sign Kodak. Kodak rejected him. A lot of Miami was rejecting him because he was biting a lot of Miami culture. Sorry, Drake, but if you're watching this, you
Gotta
was
say
biting
it.
it. You bite a lot of Miami culture. You know what I'm saying? It was bitten. So mine was like,
was
hey, no, we don't like that. So come out with the video, God's plan. He's throwing out how much money he put out on that video?
Yeah.
He went to
Fucking
was it
a
Miami
lot.
Senior High, and then
I think
was
so.
it Miami Senior
I'm
High?
not. Honestly, I'm not
I
sure.
think so.
That's the proper name to go to.
He's
huh?
like, whatever,
I gave it to
Miami,
Miami
fine.
Senior High.
Not Carroll City. No, that's not in Miami. We're in Miami.
Yeah, I need a Miami name to try it on you.
Oh my god! He also did a video where he paid homage to Jay-Z by rapping at Marcy Park. He was.
Man.
What do you?
Sound like some more Vitatree.
Oh shit! What's the consensus on Drake over here?
I
a great
like
actor.
his music, but I can see his plan. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
not God's plan.
It's not. It's Drake's plan.
You think it is?
What is it? What's his thing called?
OVO?
Do right and kill everything.
Yeah.
That's what he was talking. Was it Eternal that was talking
Yeah,
about
yeah,
that?
Yeah.
Shout out to Eternal Way.
Shout out, turn away.
Do right and kill
But-
everything. That's
right
his
and kill
plan.
everything.
I ain't gonna lie,
So,
Drake is
hey,
nasty. Whenever Drake first came out, I was like, this guy is the golden boy. Like, you know what I mean?
Smart.
He's the
But
like.
I think he should have taken Wayne's advice and that he should have stayed tattoo-less. You know, because I think that you don't think so. I think that like pretty
He
boy
got a
image.
tattoo?
That's
like-
why he
has a
got it. That's
sleeve.
why he doesn't
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
be that pretty boy
He
image.
been pretty boy long enough. Remember,
Nah.
he was getting ranked. He was getting like
Yeah.
tried a
Yeah, I
lot.
remember.
Like, light skinned
Yeah,
guy. You know what I'm saying? That
Everybody was
light-skinned
talking
shit.
about like when you were in your feelings, you were getting Drake.
Yep.
You were
Yeah.
getting all that, you know what I'm saying? Like all that shit. So I can see that. I can
people
see
making
that.
song lyrics like that. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
What do you think of?
About Drake? I mean, I like his music. I think it's dope. I don't know him as a person. I've never really I live under a rock. So like all this other stuff.
Oh, Drake has a new song?
Yeah,
All right.
you guys are like he has tattoos. I'm like he has tattoos.
You saw his kid. His kid looks
No.
like you saw his kid, right?
I didn't
mean-
see a picture, but Ali.
Blonde and
Yeah,
blue eyes.
yeah. I mean,
Blonde,
but
curly hair,
blonde
blue
and
eyes.
blue eyes.
at first I was like, what? And then it was like, okay, you know,
But if you
I
see his mom, if you see
understand
a picture of
because,
his mom, they look identical.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
As soon as
'Cause
you
they-
see the parents, it's like, okay. And then
Okay.
you have a
Because
white.
his dad is black and his mom is white, right?
Okay, yeah, you could skip a generation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exact. They look. His mom and the kid look exactly alike.
All right, word.
And
He just has black, his lips, and then his hair is very curly.
Fuck
Yeah.
when that baby came out black, that would have been going crazy. What if he came out Asian?
Then it really wouldn't be his baby.
Right? That'd have been crazy, right? What if
well, she was a porn star.
Yeah, and I think at first he was like, you didn't know that?
Craig was like,
Yeah. At first he was, I guess, I don't know. These are stories. I don't know if it was in his song, but it was like that was not his intention. He wanted Rihanna to be his baby mama.
Yeah, clearly.
So,
he was obsessed
you know what
with
I'm
her.
saying?
I think he still is. Yeah.
And Nicki Minaj. But that's why he got his name for being like a lover.
Yeah, ladies.
Because for every guy, every girl, he was always falling for them.
That first mixtape was a banger.
I heard he got in that altercation with Diddy
over J-Lo?
over Cassie.
Cassie?
Because remember Diddy and Cassie?
Oh yeah.
And something with Drake and Diddy ain't like that, and there was some problems there.
I don't know.
Yeah, there was some moves like that before. I heard about some shit like that. But he was known as like, you don't want to have your girl around Drake. Yeah, like.
What do you guys think about
don't leave your bitch around Drake.
No, that's a fact. You can put that on my tombstone.
Yeah.
What do you think about essential employees? What do you think about them having to work? Do you think that they should have the choice? Like, do you think it should be something along the lines of like, all right,
they should get paid holidays,
like quote unquote, like if I work at Publix right now, if I choose to work, I think it should be, time and a half.
Yes.
And then I think you should also have the choice as to whether. Now, here's the thing.
True.
For certain, because I was having this argument with, for certain jobs, you should be able to have the option.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say like a supermarket. Now, for like a nurse, I'm sorry, but we need you. We need you right now. We need you right now.
True.
And there's a lot of, some people call it price gouging. Some people don't. Some people call it knowing your worth. There was a situation where a friend of mine, she connects nurses with gigs, with jobs, right? She'll, if a hospital, if Baptist needs fucking 50 nurses, they'll hit her up or hit her company up, and she'll need to find 50 nurses to fill that role or fill that. And so obviously right now that's a very popular thing to, because nurses or whatever. And she's kind of like the middleman or middlewoman between, the hospital and the nurse. So let's say the hospital's like, all right, like, we need a nurse. And we'll pay her, I don't know, $2,000 a week, random numbers over here. And the nurse is like, oh, my minimal number is 2,500. The middle person will have to be like, go talk to the hospital and be like, hey, they want to do this much or whatever. The hospital would either be like, okay, yes, or no, go fuck off.
Crazy.
There are nurses right now that are requiring, for example, and this is an actual number that was thrown. It was, I believe, for a 13-week period, it was something along the lines of like $5,000 a week. $5,000 a week for 13 weeks. But you're now listen. But here, listen. But listen. You are.
No, I
directly,
I'm not mad at her. I'm not
you
the
are
line of fire.
directly
You're on the front line.
exposed. Like you are, like if she has
I
it,
feel
you're
you.
taking care of her. Like
I know, I
you're strapped
feel
up
it.
and everything.
I'm just saying, damn. I'm just
I'm trying to sign up.
If I can make 5 bands, I'm gonna be a nerd. Hey, wait a minute.
Hey, she got a fever. She don't look good. I'm a nurse.
Wow.
And the nurse turned it down. The nurse was like, nah, I need $6,500 a week, or like, I'm not risking my life.
Wow.
Now, mind you, I don't know I think it was something along those lines. I'll check later and I'll verify the numbers afterwards. Don't get on my dick. But it was something, it was like 5 bands and she requested like $6,500.
All right. So
What do you guys...
all right, with first, let's talk about the nurses and doctors, because they sign up for this. I mean, I'm not saying this, a pandemic. They sign up for pandemics to come.
Right.
No, they sign up. They know what they're getting into, and I'm not like that. It's so difficult because right now they're risking their life and they're on the front line of this thing. Those are the ones that are like they're right now trying to save the world. Nurses and doctors, and I respect it. So, it's different to compare them to workers like Walmart workers and supermarket workers, because all right,
We still need both of them.
we need both of them, obviously, right now, especially like, bro,
Or sanitation employees, like
I go out and I get stuff from Walmart all the time because I gotta eat. You feel me? So but it's difficult because on one side it's like it'd be great to get the Walmart employees and all them to get paid higher, obviously, because they're also risking, you know, somewhat their life there. But at the same time, I'm pretty sure that, well, I don't know, I'm pretty sure Walmart's making bread. But
They're making bread.
Right? They have to be.
Yeah. Publix, when they got the people making subs still and shit.
But
like that,
I don't know what their finances are to be like, you guys should pay. Yes, they deserve to get paid more. The workers at Publix and the workers at Walmart, definitely.
Because they're at risk.
They're at risk, but like, I don't know what the finances are of Walmart and Publix right now. I thought McDonald's was making bread. I found out there's some McDonald's, they're losing. Like, I know somebody who works at a McDonald's. She was telling me, yo, they lost like $400,000 this month. And I'm like, what? I thought y'all was banking because it's McDonald's. But, you know, closing.
You don't know if people, if
you
who
don't
hasn't.
know. You know, yeah. So it's like, I don't know where Walmart and Publix are right now financially to be like, you guys should be paying them more. And if not, don't go to work. Like, no, we need y'all. Wait, chill. You know, but
I think we're speaking from a business sense or
I'm
humanity sense.
Yeah.
You know what it is? I have not seen much managers on the floor though. I see a lot of workers.
Just workers.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if these, especially in Publix and Walmart, now thinking about it, I don't see much managers out like on the cash registers. If they want to limit the amount of employees that are working, then the higher ups needs to do the minimal job now and just like have minimal employees out if they really want to save money, because these niggas are getting paid salary while you paying employees hourly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there are going to be more employment, but if you are trying to limit your spendage and still keep your business going, that would be the best option.
True.
So in this situation with the nurse, do you think that that she was being unjustly selfish in the sense that she had a number and if it wasn't that number, fuck off? Or do you think you're putting a number on your safety, on your family's safety, etc.? What do you guys think?
Option 2.
Yeah?
Wait. What? Wait. Yeah, sorry.
Wait a minute.
It's
a
that
chopper.
option
No.
is accurate, because if you get sick, you need the funds to help you out. And then if this company, if they're only paying her for that and they're not gonna give her anything else, then yeah, she has to look out for herself and her family and shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know her situation. So it's
Yeah.
hard for me to gauge it, like if it's selfish or not. I mean, I feel like most, or at least like the nurses I know and the medical assistants I know and the doctors that I know that do it, they do it for the love of it and because they want to care for other people.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure if it was somebody like that, and I don't know her. I don't know if maybe, who knows where her situation is. Maybe she's really low on money, or I don't know. I don't know her situation. But I mean, I don't think, just from what I'm hearing, just using that information, I don't feel like she's doing it for the care of others. You know, I think she maybe she got in it for the paycheck. Not to say that that's wrong.
And some people do get into professions for the paycheck.
Some people get into profession for the paycheck. Yo, we got bills and people want to live a certain lifestyle. I get it.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. If I was in that profession, it would be because I love to help people. And in that case, obviously, I would have taken the job, like, because that's what I'm there for. But I'm not in that profession, so.
Craig?
5 bands a week is a lot. You know,
That is,
5
dude.
bands a week is a
That's
lot.
20 a month.
That's a lot.
20 a month.
And for
I don't
13
know.
weeks.
Dog, that's
But
200.
to risk your life in a high volume area where you know everyone who's coming there is going to tell you about coronavirus or some coronavirus type vibe where you're dealing with people.
Yeah.
And
I don't
don't
know.
you work 24-hour shifts as a nurse? Like,
Yeah, they work like
They work
12
crazy.
hours.
Yeah, so
Yeah, they
12
work
hours.
Like
crazy
12
shifts.
hours type shifts. So
Crazy shifts, yeah.
imagine a week of 12-hour shifts dealing with 50 people a week.
No, yeah, you're signing
a
away
day.
your soul for 13
Yeah.
weeks.
Yeah, I don't know. You probably want to. Maybe another place is gonna give her that money that she's asking for.
Yeah.
That's what some people were saying, that, you know, if you got your number, you know, get that number. But, you know, it's difficult because you kind of, then you put into perspective how, for example, like Messi, or I mean, I don't know if LeBron has made an announcement, but like, you know, all these big time athletes are all talking about, hey, I'm gonna take a massive pay cut. So the for example, like Messi and the Barcelona team were talking about a 70% pay cut, so the staff of the stadium could still have their wages, like all that sort of shit. Like
That's dope.
that sort of shit is dope because
That's
those
dope.
people you can afford to fucking do that.
You're gonna make
Yeah.
that back in no time. Like
yeah, exactly. And
And the people come for the games, you know?
yeah.
So if it's not for those people, the employees wouldn't have a stadium to go to. So
Yeah.
it's definitely great that they're helping.
yeah, there was another example in the NBA. I don't know who it was, but someone had also. And also Mark Cuban, I don't know if you saw the video of when Mark Cuban found out that the season had been canceled, but they got him on camera the second that his friend, or I don't know if his friend showed it to him or he sees it, but he saw the headline and he's in what team does he own?
The Orlando Magic?
No,
Or
it's
the Mavericks?
the Mavericks.
Dallas.
He was in the stadium when he saw the notification. He stands up and he like loses his shit because I mean, from a fan perspective, it's big, but from an owner's perspective, it's it's millions.
It's horrible.
It is.
It's
Yeah.
horrible.
Horrible, like
It is.
I'm done type shit. Like,
Bruh.
I could be done.
And we don't. And the thing is, I think the worst part of it is just like we're kind of just doing this day by day. We don't know how long this is
Yeah.
gonna last. I mean, I know the U.S. has extended the whole social distancing till the end of the month, but we don't know if there's gonna be another extension. So
Yeah.
apparently, like from what I've heard, I don't know how true this is, but Florida isn't supposed to hit its peak until May, like where we're gonna have the worst amount of cases and all that.
well, that's because I think people are still fucking interacting, like going
It's
to
a
the
lot
beach.
of interactions.
Yeah,
though.
I saw a video of people going out boating just like yesterday, like just mad people, and like I don't know, people aren't taking it seriously. I know a lot of people come down here for spring break, and a lot of people were complaining about the money lost, but money lost is nothing compared to lives
I've been
lost.
planning this for 2 months, bro.
It's tricky though. That's something else.
He
That's something
looks
else,
like an idiot.
But it's tricky. It's tricky when it comes down to the money too, though, because I don't want people to forget that poverty kills too. You feel what I'm saying? So if we get it to a point where the economy crashes so bad, I'm not choosing the side of keep businesses open. I feel where I'm coming from a business standpoint.
Yeah, I get it.
Bro, poverty.
It's a thin line to walk.
Poverty
here, like,
kills
yeah.
a lot more. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's gonna kill more than any virus, but poverty kills a lot, dude. Like, so you get to a point where everybody's broke and the bounce back is gonna be so hard, and you have all these families on the streets. I guarantee you there will be deaths too.
There will be.
There will be. So
There will be.
it's hard. It's hard to figure out and decide what to do because, damn,
I think companies need to make the best effort to try to adapt to these times as much as possible.
Absolutely.
Like if you can do some sort of online service, do it.
Do it. Go for it, yeah.
Go for it.
Absolutely.
Like if you can, like an Etsy store, we were talking about that. That sort of thing. You
Yeah.
got to do it in these times because if you don't get people physically through the door, you can get them in through the door virtually.
I think- I think this is the time for the people to ask the bankers for the bailout.
Well, did you hear? I don't know if does it apply to you?
All right,
the whole the small business.
Let's
thing?
talk about this. Let's talk about what the government's doing, the stimulus package here.
Does it apply to you?
See,
It
that doesn't
does.
work. That doesn't work. You see what I'm saying?
And how much
the
is
bank needs to do it.
Well,
not the government.
they have the
needs to-
banks doing it. It's just, but the government's funding it. Is what it is.
Okay.
Yeah. So what it is basically like if you're a small business, which is considered, if you have 500 employees or less, you're a small business, or you qualify for this. So basically, what they're doing is there's a couple different options that they have from what I understand. I don't know the full thing. I haven't read the full thing. But you apply for it. If you qualify, they give you X amount of money for a very small percentage as far as interest goes. If you use the money to pay your employees, to pay rent, to pay things like that they outlined what you need to use the money for, they don't charge you interest and you just have to pay back what you borrowed. Then there's an extension. It's called something disaster loan. That extension they'll forgive the entire loan if you use it for the right reasons. The extension's only up to $10,000, but if you use that for what they ask you to use it for, they'll forgive everything on that.
And you don't have to pay it
You
back?
don't have to pay a dime back. But the regular loan, you have to pay it back. You have to pay what you use, and the interest is depending on whether you use it for what they want you to use it or not.
And at one point, so how do you know if you can just go for the disaster one? Because you don't have to pay that one back.
I go for both.
For real?
That's what I applied for the disaster one. The only reason I haven't applied for the regular loan is because it's not available to me yet, and that's the tricky part. So now that's where what Craig's saying. Like the banks have to do it. The banks are refusing to get new applicants. Not all banks.
Yeah, they are. Fucking yeah.
Not all banks. I'm assuming not all banks. I don't know, maybe, but Tree Oak is not accepting new applicants. Bank of America, who I bank with, denied me because I don't have a pre-existing credit line or loan with them. So they're like, unless you have a pre-existing loan with us or credit line, we're not going to accept you. And I don't know how long that's going to be. I don't know if that's like forever or if that's just temporary. Tree Oak is doing it for now, but we also do our card transactions with Square, and Square is going to be taking applicants, but they're just not doing it now. So, Craig makes a very valid point where it's like the banks need to do it. Yeah, they do. And they're taking their, I don't know how difficult this is to get into, to get started, but the banks aren't taking new applicants right now. So I'm kind of just right here in standstill.
Yeah.
Waiting.
Even I had a buddy, even at SunTrust, they couldn't open.
They're not taking. So it's like, all right, the government's all right, here you go, banks, here's the money. And the banks are like, all right, well, we're not going to take everybody.
See ya.
We're just going to
want to be ya.
Yeah, it's crazy.
The banks are literally what they're doing. They're the bank of the money and collecting up all this money.
They're controlling that.
Slowly over time. But so that's why I say the banks need to do it. Just how they build out the automotive industry.
Yeah.
Back then when all the cars shut down, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All these Asian and foreign cars over here. You know what I'm saying? So they had to build them out. Why can't they build out the people? Because last time
they don't care about the people. They care about companies.
Yeah, they build out all those companies. So those guys didn't lose no houses or anything because it was like a housing boom. You know, remember that? Like they gave out too many loans that people couldn't pay back.
Oh yeah.
And then
Then that also messes up. How long is what the payment, like to pay it back?
Yeah.
I forgot what the term was. I think it was a decent amount of years though. It was like a good amount. Like they're really I think the efforts are there. And just to educate people on, like, aside from that, like, if you don't own a small business, which is a big chunk of America, the $1,200 check. So for those who don't know, it's all on what your taxes said in 2019 or when you filed it, or 2018 if you didn't file the 2019 ones. If you made under $75,000, you're getting $1,200. The way they're going to be paying that out is with your direct deposit that you have on taxes, they'll pay it out automatically. You don't have to do anything. Now, if you're like me, who's self-employed, and I don't have my direct deposit information on my taxes because I don't get paid anything anyway, I got to pay, then you have to either wait for the check to come in your mail, which is going to take like 30 days, or B, IRS is going to be setting something up on their website where you could input your direct deposit information, and then that way it'll be a lot quicker for you to get your check.
Bruh, the tax corner by ill-logicz.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, when it comes to money, I'm big on that.
Come on.
And even if you made over 75, I think there's like brackets. So like 1,200 if you made under 75, and then it goes down to like 1,000 or 800 if you made like 100,000. It depends on what you made, and if you're single, if you're married, and how much you make jointly.
Bro, he lives under a rock, but when it comes to taxes, money, that boy on it.
I live under a rock for what's going on in the world that doesn't have to do with money.
But when it comes to his money,
when it comes to
boy.
I have a very something to do also with your social though. So I believe it was in 2017. Experian was fraud. About 147 million people. Social, everything was exposed. So someone that I know actually has that experience at the moment, and just recently in January, they closed the case, I guess, with Experian, and they're paying like $425 million to anybody that has that problem. Wow. no news. That is not a thing that is out there.
No, of course not.
Yeah, of course. But just to let people know that is something
Get
that
your
if
money.
you don't like, I don't know how how for anybody else, but wherever you have to put in your social, whether it's unemployment, whether it's your taxes, whether it's credit card. You gotta always get your annual credit report and definitely look wherever it's going because that shit does not get exposed to you until after.
Yeah.
So they're only paying you, I think, $25 an hour for up to 20 hours if you have that issue, if your identity was stolen, which is not much, which sucks, but you do have to have that reported. It was just closed this year.
That's
so,
crazy.
That shit is fucking stupid. Like,
Dwight said it best. Identity theft is not a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, I really genuinely hope from the bottom of my heart that y'all are staying safe. And speaking about staying safe, let's say y'all motherfuckers record a bunch of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Let's say you recording that Rona live from the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? And you alive, you well, you safe, right? But you got I got double mic now. But you got nothing to do with this damn footage. What you gonna do in the middle of a pandemic? You hit up Tom MJ Moore, ladies and
That's
gentlemen.
right. Come on,
you hit
somebody.
up Tom MJ Moore, and he's gonna do you right every time.
That's what she said.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
He's the best in the game. He really is. His prices are extremely competitive, and he's beyond talented. I can't really say anything else about the master of crafts when it comes to his editing and general videography skills. Tom MJ Moore. That's where it's at. Guys, I hope you guys stay safe this week. This has been a beautiful human interaction. I go back into a hermit living after this. Speaking of, I actually read about an actual hermit, and he went into hermithood when he was 20 years old. He just drove into the forest.
Nice.
He didn't tell his parents like he was leaving. Like they weren't very like affectionate. And they never reported him missing or whatever, and he legit lived in the forest for like 29 years.
What?
And in those 29 years of him living in the forest, he was doing burglaries, and he was just living off of stolen food and shit. And in those 27 years, he only said one word to one person in those entire 27 years, and it was one person, a hiker that he saw while he was hiking, and it was the only person he had ever seen, and he just said hi, and they said hi, and it was the only word he had ever said in 27 years. And then he got caught.
Rosebud.
Yeah, and then he got caught stealing down the line or whatever, and that's what ended his like solitude. And he wouldn't do any interviews, but the only thing that he said from those 27 years was he said, "I never felt lonely. If you enjoy solitude, you're never lonely." So there's that. I'm gonna leave you guys with
Wow.
that. You know,
Quarter of the day.
yeah. If you enjoy solitude, you're never lonely. So grasp onto that during this quarantine. You know what I'm saying? Keep on holding that sanity, and stay true. Don't fucking lose it. We'll get back to normalcy in no time. You know. As always, check us out Thursday at midnight. You know what it is, or Friday morning when you're vibing at the crib, working from home. And yeah, Ill, you got anything for the people before we wrap it up?
Man, we love y'all. Stay safe, and if you go out, try to practice social distancing. Not maybe you don't care about yourself, and that's cool. I respect that. But other people, they do have families, and you want to keep as many people
Facts.
safe from this as possible. That's it. That's all for me.
Ali?
Same. Lysol, wipes, masks, do it yourself.
Craig?
Eat some good food.
Hey,
come on, Craig.
Smoke some good weed.
Some good.
Get down tonight.
Eat some good food. Stay healthy. Immune system.
Hell yeah.
You'll be all right.
Every time you do that, I just remember like the little jump scare.
Hungry. I be doing that from like down the hall, and he'll hear me. I'm like, come on.
Don't get no VR helmets.
Hey.
No VR helmets. Don't do it yet.
Don't do it yet. Don't do it yet.
Let's wait.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you next Thursday, as always, at midnight in Miami. Holla.
You can talk about anything, and it don't matter what the world thinks. You can say how you feel on midnight in Miami, where you can push it to the limit.